Now it's time to put the rafters together. Notice that there are two kinds of rafter poles. One is the rafter center with a hole drilled in the middle of it. And the other is the rafter end with a metal connector on it. The rafter ends go in position onto the stubs of the rafter bases with the metal connector pointing up. The rafter centers are a little different. Two of them will just slide on to the ridge support joint, and two of them get bolted in place, and you'll find the bolt and wing nut in the bag with the thumb screws when you get your TrimLine. And it's just slide the bolt down through the plastic pole and through the ridge pole and use the wing nut to snug it into place. And you want the wing nut down underneath. And finally the last center again goes onto the ridge support. Then Chris will just work his way around and put the rafter ends in place. And when he goes to join them, notice that he just pushed down on the two poles where they come together, and they'll slide right into position. Chris is ready to put the canopy top onto the frame now. So you just set it along the top of the ridge pole and unroll it over the roof of the canopy frame. Keeps it off the ground this way and up at a nice level that's easy to work at. Once he's got it out over the frame, then you just start pulling it into position. With the roof in place, Chris will get down to the straps and buckles on the bottom edge of the canopy top, and you want to fix at least one or two of those in place before you put the canopy up on its legs, just to hold it in place in case there's some breeze when you go to put the canopy up on legs. So find the buckle and strap, and click those into position. With the canopy top in place, now's a nice time to open up the vents. The heat and wind vents are a nice standard feature of the TrimLine. They do a couple of good things for you. In hot, summery conditions, they'll allow airflow through the booth and keep it from heating up on the inside. Or in windy, blustery days, they'll alleviate wind pressure on the booth. Chris is going to show us how the telescoping legs work on his TrimLine canopy. Here's the telescoping leg pole. It's the largest diameter tubing of anything in the TrimLine. And also you can identify this pole because it's got a row of holes punched into it. That's for adjusting the leg, and we'll see how that works in just a little bit. Chris also has his fittings laid out. He's got the foot plate. That goes on every telescoping leg. He also has his stay bar parts, as Chris has the optional stay bar kit. There is a stay bar L and a stay bar 3-way, and you can identify them because they both have white arrows on them. So look for the white arrows, and they're on all the stay bar parts. As Chris has a optional awning along with his trim line, he's got his awning support L laid out as well. That's a larger diameter barrel with a black arrow on that fitting. So you can tell the awning support L by the black arrow, and that'll go on the leg as he gets it ready for use. The leg pole comes shipped to you in a totally collapsed position, and you may not ever have it this way again, but to get the leg ready for use, give it a shake, and then you'll see that the inside portion of the leg will slide on out. The next thing to do is to line the snap button that comes out, line it up with the row of holes, and then pull the leg back and forth until the top snap button catches in the top hole. That's what we call the travel position, and that's a handy way to store and transport the leg, and it'll stay in that position without expanding or collapsing. Once you have the leg in the travel position, it's a good time to put the stay bar parts on and the foot. The way to use the stay bar L is to slide it onto the pole, past the snap button, and it'll just stay there for you. And then you can put the foot plate on. Again, it's just slide it onto the pole and snap it in position. Notice that with the pole in the travel position, there's room for both the foot and the stay bar L to stay on there. If you want to transport them that way with those fittings in place, you can leave them there or take them back off again. Now Chris is going to put the awning support L onto his leg, and here again it's just a matter of sliding the fitting over the first snap button and let it down onto the leg. And what you may want to do then is to use the thumb screw and just snug it up a little bit. And here note that the black arrow is pointing down on that awning support L. To extend the leg, a nice way to do it is to put your toe onto the foot plate of the leg. You push in the top snap button and pull the leg up until you hear a click. Then just let it down and let it rest on that snap button, and that's the one we call the catch button. Then you can just rotate the leg until you hear another click, and that's the adjuster button snapping into place. If you need to adjust the leg, later on you can push in the little adjuster button and raise the leg up or lower it down, whatever number of clicks, to get it in the correct position. Later on, when it's time to put the leg back into the travel position, you want to push both snap buttons at the same time and let the leg go straight down until it catches again at the top hole. Then your leg is back in the travel position. Now Chris is going to put his legs onto the trim line. He's got the legs laid out in their approximate locations of where they're going to go. And note that he put the legs with the stay bar L's up at the front of the booth, since he is going to install a stay bar kit, and the legs with the stay bar three-ways are at the back of the booth. And this is the point in the TrimLine setup where it really is easiest if you can ask somebody for a hand for a minute while you put the legs on. Norm's going to help Chris with the leg installation. And it's just a matter of lifting up the front of the booth, and while you put each leg into position. And as with the other fittings, it's just a matter of sliding the leg onto the corner joint and clicking it in place. And then you can let the trim line rest on its front legs while you go to the back of the booth.